This is my 1959 Pontiac Catalina, and over the course of the next month, I'm going to turn it into a Swedish beer car. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of you sitting at home right now and you're asking yourselves, Cody, what is a Swedish beer car? Basically, there's this car scene called Raggare. Anyway, and they build these cars, man, and the best way I could describe them is just beat up, smashed up, pieced together. I don't know, dude, it's kind of like a cross between mini trucking and rat rods. You know, and they'll smash these cars up, dude, and just make them look like absolute clappers. And they'll fill them with like walls of speakers, and like the interiors are all done in fur, and they're just dragging the ground, held together with nothing. And it's the coolest thing in the world to me. Now, these aren't like hot rods, dude. They're not building these cars to like, you know, go crush miles and, you know, high horsepower and things like that. Dude, they probably see 50 miles an hour and they just drag them, and then they build little mini bars in them and they blast Swedish techno and they just party. And I have never, like I said, dude, I've never once in my life resonated so hard with a car scene in my entire life. Now, you have every kind of car scene, bro. You got mini truckers, hot rodders, low riders, full-size truck guys, import guys, and I've been a part of all of it, dude. But this right here, I don't know what it is about it, man, but I love it so much. So I thought, why not build one myself? Since I've had everything else, dude, and never anything like this, why not build it? Who doesn't love a wagon? So this right here is my new to me 1959 Pontiac Catalina Safari. And to my understanding, they didn't really make a whole lot of these cars. Now, she's not exactly in the best shape ever, which is ideal for what I'm going for, because these cars are supposed to look like hammered shit. Now, even though this car's in pretty rough shape, it's really not that bad to like the American standards. So I'm not gonna absolutely just smash in the quarters and things like that, but it is gonna look just like this, slammed and just cruising the streets and scraping pavement. Now, as you can tell, it's in really good shape. Minus the floor pans, you know, but whatever. But that ain't nothing a little sheet metal or license plates and some zip screws ain't gonna fix. But to be honest, most of this is all gonna get ripped out anyway, and it's gonna be all fur, and you know, we're gonna just pressure wash the whole inside of this car and get it looking right. Door panels, I mean, everything is there. It's just in horrible shape, which is ideal, like I said. Now, the only drawbacks on this car specifically being that it's a 59 Pontiac, which would be GM's BOP line, Buick Oldsmobile and Pontiac. It is on an X-frame, you know, which is really helpful in the sense of like trying to find suspension parts and things like that. There's just little things that I'm gonna run into that are gonna kind of be a problem, but with a little bit of fabrication, a little bit of hammering, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I can get it on the road just fine. One instance being these motor mounts. Now, these are I believe this car had a 389 in it, which is a really expensive motor, and it explains why it's not in this car. But it's a powerhouse of a motor. It's got the GM 9.3 rear end in it, which is a posi, and 0.3 inches bigger than a Ford 9-inch, but exactly the same as it. Anyway, a small block Chevy is not exactly just gonna bolt right into here. So I'm gonna have to cut these out, and I got an idea for a motor and transmission, so let me show you that. Now, I've been sitting on this motor and transmission right here for quite a while. It came out of a 67 Impala that I had that I sold to a buddy of mine, and he pulled it to do an LS swap. And I told him, hey dude, if you ever get rid of this motor and this transmission, let me get it back, because I know that it runs flawlessly. It's worth just sitting on in case I ever got a GM vehicle that I could just kind of throw it in and just be on the road in no time. Granted, this one's gonna be a little bit harder because of the driveline and all that stuff, but this is what I got. Now, this right here is a damn good running Chevy 250 inline-six, and I got the 2-speed Powerglide that goes with it. So she ain't gonna be no powerhouse. She ain't gonna be cruising the interstate at 70, 80 miles an hour. She ain't gonna be fuel injected. Hell, the car doesn't even have a power steering rack, so I won't be needing the power steering pump or anything like that. But it is a damn good running motor, and I would trust this thing anywhere. I don't know how many miles are on it, but I know it's not very many, because the car that it came out of ran and drove so perfect that I just knew that this is something that I had to hang on to. Now, everything is here that I'm gonna need to put it in the car, But I did get the max speeding rod universal weld-in motor mounts, which came with these plates that you basically just bolt in here, set everything where you need it to, and you just weld these to the frame. So I have to cut out the engine mounts that are in the car and weld these in there, which won't be a problem. The only things I'm running into is, like I said, dude, max speeding rods, they make some quality stuff, which is why none of the bolt holes line up. The top one lines up, but the bottom ones, dude, we're gonna have to like drill those out and get those to line up in there, which is no big deal. You know, you drill some holes, whatever. But like I said, dude, we're not going for a restoration project. We're going for something that runs and drives under its own power and just draws all the attention in the world and will give me all the tickets on top of that. One of the big things I'm running into is like the drive shaft. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna go about that. What I do have is luckily the drive shaft that came out of that 67 Impala that I told my buddy I wanted with it just so I could have that slip yoke. And I figured with this slip yoke and the drive shaft, you probably can't see it, but it's already in the car. It's hanging down in there. With that, you know what I'm saying? I could piece it together to kind of make it work, even if I have to shorten it a little bit or extend it or whatever. Like I said, man, this isn't a highway speed car. Low speed, think of it like a tractor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be low, slow, and banging, dude. Isn't that a slab? Slow, low, and banging. It's going to be cool, man. Another thing that I ran into is that I didn't know this, but on these old Pontiacs, yeah, it's the size tires I'm gonna run too, man. They're gonna be tiny. But these are, what, like left-hand thread or right-hand thread? They go the opposite way. And I snapped off one lug here, or one stud here, and snapped them all off on the back because I started on the back. But we got the hammer out. We're popping those out. I got new studs coming, so we'll get those replaced, and they'll all be right. So that's one thing I didn't really know about. I had to beat the back brake drums off because they were not exactly seized. They just didn't slide right off. But I had a 64 Impala. I kind of did the same thing too. I'm not going to run back brakes. I know that might be a lot for some people. You got to have back brakes, dude. I don't care. It's not, I'm not racing this car. Front brakes will be just fine. I think they work. So we're basically just going to take all the drum shoes, everything out of here. And it's not going to have back brakes. That's just one less headache I got to worry about. And like I said, man, it's a clapper. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to just run and drive, and you're supposed to haul 10 of your homies in it and just have a party. You know, it's a party wagon. The only plans that I have for this car, other than getting it running and driving, doing the interior, I ordered bag brackets for it. Now, I don't know how different this suspension is from a 64 Impala. I have bagged a 64 Impala, and from what I could tell, it all looks like it's the same exact stuff. The suspension and everything looks exactly the same from where the bag cups mount to the bottom, everything like that. Everything's held in by these old shocks that have springs on them. So you drop those, springs drop out, you bolt in your cups or weld them in if you want them, and you just mount your bags in there. Kind of the same thing goes for the front. There's like a triangular plate that goes on there. Your bag attaches to that, and then you cut this part of the frame out right here so the bag, you know, can clearance it. But I mean, other than that, dude, the ball joints, everything feel good. The wheels still roll. I mean, the brakes aren't all seized up or anything like that. So, I mean, it shouldn't be too much, man. Brake lines, fuel lines. I don't even know about the gas tank. That's another thing I just thought of. But I mean, worst case scenario, dude, we'll get like a 10-gallon fuel cell and throw it in the back because we have all the room in the world to put whatever we want in the back of this car. But yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. You know, 3/8 fuel line all the way up to the fuel pump, whatever. You know, the only issue that I could see me running into, and it's probably going to slow down anything, is going to be that drive shaft. Because for one, it's stuck in there. Like the carrier bearing is already unbolted, but for some reason, something is holding that drive shaft in the center of the X frame, and I can't get it out. I haven't really tried. It's also been raining. Everything is soaking wet. So I haven't really tried too hard. But that's the only thing I could think of, because this car had a hydromatic transmission, I believe, or a super hydromatic. And from what I could tell, that slip yoke is different from that slip yoke. So that automatically, those are going to have to be swapped. I just don't know about the length. If anything, I could put that slip yoke on this transmission and kind of position the motor so I don't need to mess with the drive shaft too much. But we'll see. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It would help if I had the original motor and transmission, but I don't. Beggars can't be choosers. And I got a damn good deal on the car, so what are you going to do? So I put it in order for all the parts and everything like that. They're all coming. I guess we're not doing anything today. I just wanted to kind of explain this to everybody and let everybody know what's going on. Motor, transmission, car, got to mount the wheels. There's a lot to be done on this car, but I don't do builds that take like a long time. You know, I know there's these dudes out here on YouTube and stuff that are building cars. It's taking them months to do it. I don't do that. You know, sure. Do I cut corners? Probably. Do I do things right? Absolutely not. You know, but everything I've ever built has been cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? And it's done what its purpose was, and that was just to be, you know, cruise. You know, just to whatever. You know, whatever I wanted that car to be built for is how I built it, and it took me no time. You know, cheap, low budget. You know, low fabrication skills. Which I mean, I have a lot of fabrication skills. I'm not gonna lie, but dude, I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, try to CAD out every bag plate and all that. I mean, yeah, dude, could you do it that way? Sure. But what's the fun in that? You know, not every dude sitting at home has a laser table or a plasma table to cut out all these parts and do all that. Like, no, dude, I'm gonna show you how I do it. We got an oxy acetylene torch over there. We got some scrap metal. We got some Amazon parts and eBay parts coming. A lot of marketplace finds, and that's how we're gonna build this car, dude, because that's what it is, dude. That's what this is about to me. So if that's something you're interested in, man, be sure to follow along, you know, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And yeah, dude, I'm really excited. I got all kinds of stuff going too, dude. We got a pan head right here, 55 pan, that it's going together. Gonna be pretty okie dokie. So you name it, man. I'm always into building stuff. But if that's what you're into, man, follow along, because like I said, dude, today is the 15th of July, and I want to get this car done way sooner than you think, because before fall, dude, I'm trying to take this thing out and just be hitting the road in it. So yeah, dude, let me know.